everybody in South Florida had this week. Where was the gas, and why was it taking it so long for gas stations to be replenished? In Broward, Miami-Dade, and the Florida Keys, we saw lines of cars waiting for fuel at stations that had gas. And then we saw plenty of other service stations with limited or no supply of gas. This comes after record floods from more than a week ago damaged pumps at fuel terminals at Port Everglades, which is the supply for South Florida. So once again, we have Lamar, the Broward mayor, with us this morning. And Broward, Mr. Mayor, let's get right to it. Earlier in the week, 5 of the 12 terminals were not operating, but now they're back. So the question is, are trucks still playing catch up? What's the latest?
Thanks, Judy, for having me. Yes, indeed, we are back to normal. All 12 terminals are operating. Fuel is getting to the trucks for dissemination to the gas stations. So again, 100% back online. So, and as I ride through Broward County last few days, I see no lines at the pumps, and I see plenty of forced fuel throughout our county.
The CEO of the port, who was unable to make it onto the show today, he repeated this week that the terminals are operated by private fuel companies, but the port, of course, is operated by the county. So the question is, can the county mandate certain regulations that could help if there's a hurricane or another flood like this?
In speaking with our petroleum partners this past week, we can't actually mandate them to do anything, but they are already in progress of getting the pumps where they have to pump this fuel, of course, to the racks. They're looking at the future, how they can elevate those pumps so this doesn't happen again. So we're working directly with them and supplying where we can for them, but ultimately they have to make that decision, but they are on board as partners with us.
But if they're leasing, and this is just to clarify, if the petroleum companies are leasing from the port, which is run by the county, can there be any kind of ordinance saying, listen, anybody who is leasing terminals here, the pumps have to be X feet high, for example?
No, you can't. They're privately owned, actually. The terminals are privately owned by the petroleum partners. So we can only encourage them to rearrange their pumps. That were actually what happened was they were flooded. And so they need to now elevate them to a higher level. But all of them have committed to, I believe, the county and the port to make those changes necessary.
I think this really drew attention to the fact that Port Everglades does supply fuel to all of South Florida. Even people are in Key West were saying, I can't believe that what's happening in Broward County is affecting us. Is there concern that all of the supply is coming from one place?
Well, it's actually Port Everglades services 12 counties. Again, the fuel was not an issue. We had all the fuel at the docks that we needed to replenish, of course, the economy here in Broward County and others. We learned from this experience. We learned that the berms held the water within that. So again, as a port, we'll be looking to do what we can to get that water obviously back to the ocean and back to the coastal waterway.
Right now, we've learned that the governor is appealing to the Biden administration, wanting to declare Broward a disaster zone. What would that mean for Broward County? What would that do, and how could that potentially help homeowners?
Yeah, we were able to send a letter to President Biden this week, and the governor was gracious for his support behind it. That's a big game changer for us, Jenny, because then we can tap into the FEMA resources, especially those folks who are hardest hit in their homes. I was on the ground with the team this week. There were 4 teams in our hardest hit areas, walking home to home to see what the damages are, so we can have the assessment and those surveys available to obviously go back to those folks and get them help. So it was a big game changer for us that Washington is stepping in.
Still so much to be done. So many people who have lost everything. Mayor Fisher, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we're going to be in touch as this issue continues. Thank you so much.